Warning, this video will discuss leak material. Proceed with caution. So I was hoping that I didn't have to make this video, but with V3 of the Honkai Star Rail 3.5 beta dropping today, things took an even worse turn. So V3 is basically the big change version, which means that it more or less finalizes the kit of a character, and with that we primarily only get to see number changes in V4 and V5. So Cerydra is the newest 5-star Harmony support and has the probably worst designed kit that I have ever seen since I started playing in 1.0. I mean it. Is she going to be strong? Yes, I believe so. But her kit design still remains so bad that I wonder who came up with this. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about it. So Cerydra's main gimmick is giving an ally a targeted buff via skill, which increases the attack of that ally and, if she has her light cone, also the skill damage of that ally. When the ally takes a turn, or when Cerydra does some of her shenanigans like having a turn, doing ult, they gain 1 charge, up to a maximum of 8 charges. Once that ally has 6 charges, they promote to a queen, and the next time that character uses their skill, they will instantly use it again. So it's basically the same as an -1 Sunday setup, except that it works automatically. And this is honestly where already most of the issues begin. Due to straight up copying a skill instantly being obviously an incredibly strong mechanic, it ends up taking up most of Cerydra's power budget, which leaves the rest of her kit in an incredibly questionable spot. Her buffs itself are way too low to justify her as some must-have universal buffer, and even the double skill is super niche. Think about it. You only have a limited amount of actually skill damage based DPS, and most of them have way stronger options as supports. You are insane if you even think about using Cerydra instead of Tribi for your Herta, for example. So who actually ends up being able to use her? Anaxa and Finon. But then, do you really want to give up on Sunday and or Tribi in an Anaxa team? I certainly wouldn't. So you are left with Finon, who, of course, loves her skill copying. He can now double Meteor Strike despite her not being on the field. So issue number 1, we're looking at a support who's basically tailor-made for Finon. Let's keep that in mind as we go through the rest of the kit of this support character. Damage. Oh, and what a surprise, more damage. The rest of her kit is basically filled with some weird sub-DPS traces and abilities, at which point I literally have to ask Koyo, what the fuck was the intention here? Because the only conclusion I can come up with is give her the copy skill and make sure the rest is completely utterly useless. You are telling me over half of Cerydra's kit is sub-DPS material while she's meant to be the support for the character that removes all allies and fights alone? No, like, I can't be the only one who's flabbergasted by this. Oh, and to contradict her sub-DPS potential, they gave her a new passive as well. Allow me to read. When Finon is on the Oh, I'm sorry, that was the scrap description. Where is it? Ah, here. When Cerydra is departed, all allies gain respan and skill damage amplification. Keep in mind that Finon is the only character in the entire game who can depart allies. So Cerydra can actually not use 100% of her own kit without Finon, while at the same time contradicting the entire sub-DPS traces. Her damage isn't even good. It's locked behind her E6 because, of course it is. Oh, and speaking of Eidolons, let's talk about her E1. So before V3, her E1 just gave a total of 34% death ignore, 16% base, and 18% for the extra skill. Pretty good. Now, the death ignore got increased by 2%, and Cerydra grants the target of her skill to energy. In case you don't quite understand, 2 energy is completely fucking worthless. You will maybe get in one situation every 10,000 fights where that 2 energy on her skill is going to come in clutch. But you know who has a super cool mechanic that triggers when they gain energy? You won't be able to guess it. It's fucking Phynon, who gains an extra core flame stack for his ult. So now Cerydra grants him 2 stacks per skill, which is absolutely amazing for Phynon and completely utterly useless for anyone else in the team. This is not Cerydra's E1. This is Phynon's E7. This is the most questionable and, quite frankly, disgusting kit I have ever seen since playing. Cerydra has great visuals and a great thematic, and you would expect a war strategist with the title Imperator to fit the Harmony role well and support allies like a general, but she doesn't. If you like Cerydra, but you don't like Phynon, or don't have Phynon, this is the biggest disappointment ever. You can never use her with anyone else without a significant damage drop-off. And if you use her with Phynon, you will basically never see her or her sub-DPS kit, because Phynon fights alone and wants to finish the fight before his transformation runs out. And she still doesn't fix Phynon's main issue, which is his ult being tied to base speed. So it's not even like she at least fixes Phynon's main issue. For everyone comparing this to Zhao Cho, no, this is worse than Zhao Cho. Zhao Cho had at least dot relevance because he didn't have mechanics that were literally tied to Acheron. And if you really like Zhao Cho and invested into his Eidolons, he would become the best generalist support on your account. E6 Zhao Cho is probably still the strongest universal support in the game. No matter how much you invest into Cerydra, she doesn't become a good support that you can use with other DPS. You can only invest into E6, at which point she becomes more of a main DPS instead of an actual support. I don't care how strong she will come out, because quite frankly, I find her very, very strong. And the more you invest it into Phynon, the more insane the double meteor will be, of course. But that is not the point here. The point is that this kit is a mess, disappointing, and honestly just doesn't justify potentially 180 pulls and simply doesn't do justice to the character itself. I'm incredibly disappointed at the moment with her because I find her design to be amazing, and I believe that no matter what kind of number changes they do for the rest of the beta, it will simply not solve all the inherent issues I listed here. But yeah, I just felt incredibly frustrated after today's V3 reveal, and I felt like sharing it. Talking about leaks isn't really something I normally do here, but yeah, let me know what your opinion on Cerydra is, and I will see you in the next one.